Hello, I'm Jonasz Lewiński and you're watching TVP World Talks. Welcome. In a breakthrough moment, the Kurdish insurgent group PKK has announced it would disband its structures, ending decades of militant actions that left tens of thousands dead as the group struggled for independence of Kurdistan from Turkey. What does this development mean for Ankara and for the Kurds? Can political dialogue truly replace violence and terrorism? And what has driven this momentous change that has the potential to reshape the region's history? Joining us now to discuss this is Marcin Krzyżanowski, expert on the Middle East from the Jagiellonian University. Hello and welcome to TVP World.
Hello and thank you for the invitation.
So let's begin with a brief outline of the PKK, an organization that has been recognized as a terrorist group by numerous countries, including the US and the European Union.
As PKK, Kurdistan Workers Party, was labeled as a terrorist organization by United States, European Union, and of course Turkey and various Middle Eastern countries. It started as armed militia fighting against Kurds discrimination in Turkey and against older old feudal structures within the Kurdish society. And for more than 40 years, PKK was waging a war against Turkey and various other regional entities, like, for example, Islamic State in Syria and Iraq. And now, with the decision to dissolve the structure of organization, a new chapter will start. Let's hope that the declaration of dissolving will materialize and it will be really a game changer in the region.
Of course, that remains to be seen. But when it comes to the objectives of the PKK, before they announced that they would be disbanding their militant structures, what were those objectives? And to what extent do you think they could be achieved using political means instead of what was widely perceived as a terror campaign against the authorities in Turkey?
As the history of conflict in Ireland and Northern Ireland shows, the political solution is possible. I'm not sure if it can be applicated right now, but there is a huge chance to resolve the Turkish-Kurdish problem conflict by political means. That the solution of PKK will be very important step toward that. And
because initially they wanted independence, like they were a separatist group. So are the objectives changing now?
Definitely, the political thoughts evolve. Initially, they were a purely separatist group fighting to create independent Kurdistan, and as the socialist Marxist-driven group, they were also fighting with the old social structures. They intend to change the social structure of the Kurdish society in Turkey and in the whole region. And although their first objective, independent Kurdistan, was not fulfilled, they were able to change the social structure and kind of political philosophy of most of the Kurdish society, especially in Turkey. And now, if they will be able to transform themselves into a political group, political party, they have a huge chance to revive the issue of Kurdistan and to translate it into the agenda of Turkish policy.
What would that agenda be in this case? Because we're no longer talking about independence. Quite possibly this would be about minority rights, possibly devolution of power so that the region might if not exercise a degree of autonomy, then at least have a greater say in governance. Would you think that this toned down version of those objectives is going to go down well with all of their supporters? Or could we see perhaps some sort of splinter groups still saying, no, we don't want a political process, this is not going to work, we're still going to resort to violent means because this is a struggle that cannot be won in any other way?
Definitely, yes. For sure, we will see in the nearest future at least a few splinter groups or descendants of PKK. Most probably, they will merge themselves into Kurdish forces in Syria. As the Kurdish semi-unofficial autonomous region in Syria is still in danger because of the radical Islamist presence in Syria. And most probably, if they will decide to fight, they will fight in Syria, not in Turkey.
And so, speaking of which, this organization has been present beyond Turkey's borders. What is going to happen to its other subsections, so to say? The parts of the group that were active in other countries, like Iraq, for instance. Would you say that perhaps this change might also go beyond the territory of Turkey? And bring about a shift in the entire region?
For sure. At the moment, there is ongoing change in the security and political structure of the whole Middle East. And for sure, in the new equation, there is a lot of space for Kurdistan and Kurdish issue. And after the dissolution of PKK, some of members of the group will for sure try to create a new organization fitted to their political views, or they will merge into, or they will be dissolved into the Kurdish security forces in the Kurdistan autonomous region of Iraq. Where many of the organization assets are currently placed, or, as I mentioned before, the Kurdish forces in Syria.
What about Recep Tayyip Erdogan? Is it likely that he will make concessions towards the Kurds in exchange for the PKK being out of the picture? And a related question, is there a risk that this could still be something of, basically campaign talk? Erdogan is facing difficult elections 2028. Does he want to have Kurds on his side, at least for the time being?
Definitely, yes. For Erdogan, the Kurdish issue is one of the most important issues of internal policy. And now he is able to pose himself as the problem solver. He can say that he ended the existence of PKK, and there is a huge possibility that he would like to buy support of Kurds for his possible, although at the moment unconstitutional, next election as the president. I don't think that Erdogan will step down voluntarily in the nearest future.
Speaking of which, and given that there are some authoritarian tendencies at play with the arrest of a major opposition leader, for example, Mr. Imamoglu and all that, can you imagine the idea of devolution of power to the Kurdish inhabited regions being reconciled with this sort of strongman rule that Erdogan is exercising? Are these two ideas even compatible in the long run?
In the long run, yes. Although at the moment it's hard to predict what will happen. As I said before, now the most important question is if the decision of dissolution of PKK dissolution will materialize, and how strong splinter groups will be in the nearest future. For Turkey, the issue of PKK is far from being closed, although both sides are on the path towards normalization and reconciliation.
One quick question. Do you think that this will make it easier for Turkey to cooperate with other countries within NATO and the European Union? Remember how, for example, when Nordic countries joining the NATO alliance, Turkey was one of the countries that would hold on until the last moment, demanding concessions concerning members of the PKK, Sweden in particular.
That's true, and without having PKK in the picture, the relations with Turkey and between Turkey and other countries, especially European countries, would be much easier. Although the Kurdish issue possibly will remain with us for a longer time. But with the shift in the PKK policy, there is a chance for a shift in Turkish policy. And if Turkey will make Kurdish life easier in Turkey, the European Union will be most happy with that.
Marcin Krzyżanowski was our guest today here on TVP World. Thank you very much for joining us and for sharing your insight.
Thank you very much and have a nice day.
And I'm Jagiellonian University. You're watching TVP World. Please stay with us for more latest news and updates.